What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so this is a video request that I received a couple of days ago, and with some of the recent developments involving this situation, I couldn't. It couldn't be a more perfect time to do this video because the things that are developing in this situation proves, without a shadow of a doubt, that many of my claims and other people's claims of bias and racism are warranted when it comes to how people relate to these types of things, all right, and how they react to these types of things. So, the man on the left is T.J. Holmes. The woman on the right is Amy, I think it's Robach. And they are co-hosts on Good Morning America, which I believe airs on ABC. They recently revealed that they are in a consensual relationship. Now, there had been suspicions, I believe, from fans that that was the case, on-air flirting. There was a picture that showed both of them holding hands, which, was scandalous, considering that both of these individuals, as recently as September, were married to other people. Okay? However, despite the fact that their relationship does not violate company policy, and despite the fact they're on equal footing, ABC management still has decided to give them the temporary boot, meaning that neither one of them are going to be featured on that show anytime soon, even though they didn't violate policy. The excuses are that it's too much of a distraction. Their relationship is too much of a distraction at this time, right? And Robin Roberts, who I don't have any problem with, but for some reason she feel like she's their mama, told them that they should cool it and cease and desist with this relationship. Now, this is where things get interesting to me. And we go down this same pathway all the time, it seems. Now, even though they're both public personalities this time, see, at least the argument with the Ime Udoka situation was that, hey, he's a public figure, she's a private figure, right? She's private citizen, more or less. Even though Ime Udoka, I don't think ever opted to be a public figure. I mean, he's a basketball player, but that doesn't mean that he wants to be in fucking movies. He's not an elected official, but anyway, whatever. Everybody always focused on Ime Udoka. So the argument by the people who going to argue the way they argue is, hey, she's a private citizen. Leave her alone. Let's not focus on her. Let's not slut shame her. Let's not do all these other things to her. Leave her be. Okay, fine. Fine! What's your argument now? Because they're attacking him. They're focusing on him cheating on his wife, him breaking up with his wife. Everybody's focusing on him, how he destroyed her relationship, and how they're even saying that he had a prior relationship with I think it was with an ABC, with a Good Morning America supervisor or manager before he started messing with Amy Robach. And I have to say this. Who cares? Who gives a fuck? But interestingly, no one wants to attack her. She left her husband too. She's in a let's get this straight. They're in a consensual relationship. Yet, people are focusing on him as the troublemaker. Her. And then you wonder why I always say They always try to make the black man the villain. Oh, you're just overreacting and being racist. Oh, you're just a racist too raw. Kiss my ass. Now look, I don't know this guy from goddamn a hole in the wall. I don't know him. And I don't really care about him. But I just find it interesting that everybody is so intrigued with this situation. But, you know, I remember, when was this? Maybe 6 years ago? Morning Joe. Joe Scarborough started having a relationship with Mika Brzezinski. And apparently that relationship started when she was still married. She hadn't even divorced her husband yet when she was having a relationship with Joe Scarborough. Now, I think a year after she got divorced, her and Joe Scarborough, who are co-hosts on Morning Joe, if that show still comes on, it's been a long time since I watched MSNBC, but they're co-hosts and married. And nobody really gave a real fuck like that, right? Even though it's fucking wrong that she was cheating on her husband with Joe Scarborough. But you know, all you gotta do is look at Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski to figure out why people don't care as much about that. Then I saw someone say, oh man, goodness, it's just, you know, people always talk about race. It's just disgusting that this guy is married and you know, how can he do his wife and child like that, cheating on her? And I said, well, you know, it's funny that nobody gives a fuck that Arnold Schwarzenegger had a child out of wedlock. A constant reminder to his wife that he cheated on her with the fucking maid. And do people really hold it again over his head? Absolutely not. No, they don't hold it over his head. Let Wesley Snipes have done that. Let Eddie Murphy have done that. Let Will Smith have done that shit. So, I figure what's going to happen is they're going to try to find some way to ruin this relationship, because the real problem is they don't like this race mix. It's a small but still powerful percentage of people in this country who don't like race mixing. Okay? I know they had this poll that said 94% of people approve of race mixing. Yeah, from their perspective. There's a lot of people who are white that love black women and, you know, Hispanic women and all that, but they don't want brothers fucking their women. See, you gotta be a little bit more deeper with that interracial relationship question. But I think what they're going to do is they're going to try to make it such a tense situation between the two that they break up or something, and they're going to somehow end up firing that guy from that program, even though they're in a consensual relationship. Like I said, that never really was the problem with Ime Udoka. It's the fact that he fucked. Like in this situation, the problem is, in some people's minds, this nigga broke up a white marriage. And if you're a white guy, right? If you're a white guy, let's be completely honest. One of your biggest fears, one of the biggest things that you don't want happening, is your wife cheating on you with a black guy. Let's just be 100% for, I mean, let's be 1,000 on this. You don't want that. So anyway, that's how I feel about it, man. Look, like I said, I don't really care, but about this situation, but that's just how I feel about it. And let's be honest, these are two grown ass people, man. They can do what the fuck they want to do. She's 49, from what I've read. He's 45. They're grown ass people. If they want to fuck each other, that's nobody's business. People are too fucking nosy now. I don't give a fuck if they're fucking. How's that affecting my life? People are too fucking nosy, man. Stalking other people and looking to see what people doing and who they having sex with. What's their political affiliation and what do they believe in when it comes to this issue and that issue, and are they for abortion and all this fuck. You know what? People do more research into other people who they don't like. You know what I'm saying? People invest more time and interest vetting people who they don't like than the people who they're in relationships with. Maybe people would be happier if they invested more time into vetting the people who you want to have, your kids with and share the rest of your life with, rather than people who ain't thinking about your ass. But anyway, that's all I got to say about it. Tell me what you guys think.